5 minutes, but I'm going to rush through these really fast. I want to let everyone know that we aren't doing this by ourselves. We have several partners, and I need to mention them, which is the Douglas County Health Department. We have Public Housing Authority, Charleston Health Center, Urban League, City Sprouts, Parks and Recreation, One World, and several others that are involved in this initiative. And I also want to acknowledge the fact that Dr. Kasoko Usaki, who's the principal investigator of all of this and has been doing this for years, and is a phenomenal person in terms of the gathering grants and making stuff happen in this community. Dr. Kasoko Usaki. These are not CDC's opinion on what they gave us the money. Citizens Disease Control, they gave us money in REACH2, which was 5 or 6 years ago, and we were successful. We got a lot of things done, and then they gave us applied for, and we received another grant, which we're in now, which is a 5-year grant. We're now ending the 2nd year, starting the 3rd year, and they don't cut the money off, and we'll be here doing this work. So our mission is to for the REACH program is to promote healthy behaviors, reduce chronic disease, risk factors among people who are Black, African American, Hispanic, or Asian, and American Indian and Alaska Native, and Hawaiian and Pacific Islanders. That was the mission for the REACH1 program, which was only focused on physical activity, which is really narrow. Now we're into REACH2, which is focused on 4 areas, 4 strategies, which I'm going to tell you about. So I just want to say that in REACH1, we had a lot of achievements. We got information to the Black community, 46,000 individuals, 31 physical activity policies were created, 33 outdoor walking trails, 30 indoor walking trails, 40 physical activity props and posters that were out there, 81 key destination signs were developed. We put in 86 bicycle tracks, racks, 56 community health ambassadors were educated and trained in this community. And we had lots of people to attend our physical activity day, which is annually. We just had one this year about 2 weeks ago. So REACH2, we were funded. We got $1,221,000 or $889,000 the first year, and then they cut us to $839,000 the 2nd year, and so going into the 3rd year, we don't know what they're going to do to us, but we're going to continue to work. So the 4 areas that they have us focusing on, and I know I just got 5 minutes, Jonathan, you have to give me a sign, so I'll rush through. Nutrition is one of the areas. I'm not going to go through all of that, but it is focused on us training individuals to make sure that we help them understand what nutrition is about so they can spread the information to the rest of the community. The second strategy is physical activity, which we already knew about. We did that in year 1, REACH2. So physical activity is so important. As you know, it helps to decrease chronic disease. The third one this year and going forward is continuity of care for breastfeeding. Making sure we encourage breastfeeding. We all should know, and we will learn more about what the value is of breastfeeding. I mean, it is so important to the life of the individual and the mother. Adult vaccination is the other one that we have to focus on. We're now starting the vaccine flu season, so I had mine last week, both COVID and flu. And the older you are, you need to get those vaccines. And I'll just say, when I was younger, I didn't get them. So I was young, I was tough, I was healthy, and I didn't get sick much. But once you start getting my age and a few others that I see here, you gotta get it because it makes so much sense. I'm sure Dr. Hughes will emphasize that. Okay, 5 years I mentioned. So the first year, 2 years, we were focused on assessment, meaning we needed to look at the community and assess what's going on with the community in those 4 areas. And so we've been working on that and doing that. And so I'm going to move out of here to the next area, which tells you a bit about, okay, what did we find as a result of that assessment. So we had consultants involved with us, of course, to help us do the analysis of the things that we found. And so this is Dr. Cooney's report, and let's go through here. So there's lots of charts and graphs on each of those 4 areas. I'm not going to get into the details because it'll take too long, but I do need to say there was about 498 people that were surveyed, and there was both Black and Hispanic, because this 4-year, 5-year grant cooperative agreement, we focused on African Americans and Hispanic, whereas before it was just African Americans. So 42% of the survey was Black, 55% was Hispanic. There was males and females. There's some data there. I'm going to get to the results here. Breastfeeding. We asked questions like, how much do you know about breastfeeding? We asked questions about what are the benefits of breastfeeding? How comfortable are you talking to your partner about breastfeeding? Let's see, what else? Do you know if there are any lactation consultants in the community? And of course, most folks didn't know about the lactation consultants. Does the workplace have a place for mothers to do breastfeeding at work? And most of them were unsure, and there were a few, about 19 to 20% that said yes, there's places in the workplace where you can do breastfeeding. How comfortable are you breastfeeding in public? We asked those questions, and it looks to be that African Americans were very comfortable, Hispanics were not so comfortable. Were there barriers to breastfeeding? Information on that. Let's see. Now the gaps. So what we're supposed to do is assess the environment and see where the gaps are, see what's going on out there. So for breastfeeding, we determined that it was clear that 58% of the male survey had little or no knowledge about the benefits of breastfeeding. Also, that their partners didn't discuss much with their partners. The majority of Blacks and Hispanic females were unfamiliar with lactation consultants, unsure about whether their workplace had the policies or not. They were unsure if they have access to online resources and support for breastfeeding. So we know that there's some gaps there and some things that we need to do with these next 3 years to fill in those gaps and make the environment more healthy, the population more healthy. So the conclusions there was that there needed to be an increase in women's comfort in breastfeeding, increase in self-confidence. The systems needed to change in terms of education. We needed to provide access to lactation support. Policies was one of the other things that we're tasked to try and change. That means universal policies, environmental policies throughout the community. And so we know that we need to do some things there. Vaccinations, we're getting close to our time, right? Okay, so we know that vaccinations are important. We know that we need to get those when we need to. And in terms of, we get down to what we found, real quick here, there's a distrust in the system, which we know. Some are unsure about where to get the vaccines, whether they have to pay for it or not. There needs to be improvements in the trust situation. We need to get involved with, contact more trusted people who have trusted voices who can talk to people about it. There need to be system changes. There need to be policy initiatives implemented. And I have talked personally with the CEO of Charles Kinney and personally with the CEO of One World. They're about vaccines and whether you can get them free or not. Well, neither one of those clinics are free. Everybody already knows that, but they do have a sliding fee scale, and so those people who don't have insurance and need to get the vaccine, they can go to either one of those facilities for certain, and they'll take care of them pretty much through their sliding fee scale. So physical activity, I'll just go through here in terms of conclusions. We need to increase participation in physical activity. There need to be some systems changes in terms of sidewalks and streets and safe walks to places. Nutrition, of course, is always important. And conclusions there included with City Sprouts, they're going to be getting involved in helping to establish more farmers markets and community gardens. We'll provide a lot more education on nutrition, and I think that's the end of it, right? Yeah. Okay, so I know we're over 5 minutes, but the message is clear. We want to keep our environment healthy, our population healthy. We have this cooperative agreement for another 3 years, and so our mission will be to provide a lot of education and information to the community about all these 4 components. And we hope that you will receive that, pass it on to others, and help to keep our community healthy. Thank you.